top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, this past few days, I have been kind of watching a lot of Christmas movies, and one of the movies that I stayed up late to watch the other night was called Christmas with the Coopers. Now, I know it's an old movie, you probably have seen it before, but there's a line in it that Alan Arkin, who plays Bucky in the movie, says to one of the characters, and that is, try and become the person you want to be. Now again, going on yesterday's podcast episode, we probably have a lot of things we'd like to achieve in 2023. We want to make more money, we want to have a better relationship, we want to maybe finally get rid of that 9-to-5 job. So we probably have big dreams for next year. Now our only problem is we are going to be taking us into next year. You know, I remember the great Randy Gage saying one time, and it did kind of piss me off when I heard it, but the more I thought about it, the more I said he was right. And what he said was that at every scene of the crime in our lives in the past, all those relationships breaking down, all those times we missed out on opportunities, you know, all the times maybe relationships broke down or whatever happened in the past, you know, all those things that happened to us in the past, there was always one person at the scene of the crime. Now, we can blame all those things on other people. We can blame it on the government. We can blame it on this person. We can blame it on our parents. We can blame it on our boss. We can blame it on a lot of things. But if we're really honest and truthful with ourselves, there was really one person that was always there. Now, there are some kind of random moments. Sometimes life just throws us a curveball, maybe just to knock us out of our comfort zone or to get us to take action. And yeah, there are moments like that when life does kind of go upside down on us. But for a lot of times, we can, you know, follow back the clues of the crime back to the culprit, which is usually us. So as I said there, you know, going into 2023, you're going to be taking you into 2023. You're going to be the same person, with the same habits, with the same thoughts, with the same actions. And you're going to find that at the end of 2023, you're going to be back where you are right now. Nothing is going to change. And as the great Bob Proctor said one time, you know, for things to change, things need to change. Now, if I was to say to you, become a better version of yourself, I'm sure your mental handbrake would go on and you'd probably wouldn't take any, you know, notice of that advice. Because for a lot of us, we just see ourselves as just us. You know, we don't think there is a better version of us in there. And for me to say to you, become a better version of you, you're going to say, no, I can't see that happening because it didn't happen last year. It didn't happen the year before. It didn't happen the year before that. I'm always just me. There's only certain things I can do. I only have certain abilities. I've only got certain talents. And nothing really great ever happened in my life. So what I would say to you is go on that advice that Alan Arkin said in that movie and try and become a better version of you. Now, I know Yoda said one time, there is no try, there is only do or don't do. But I think at least if you try this year to be a better version of you, to know that, you know, there are more talents, there are more abilities, there are some amazing things in you. And if you try to get closer to that person you want to become, at least you'll make some changes. You know, at least you'll probably do some new actions. Maybe you might get off your butt. You might exercise more. You might, you know, put time aside in the morning to record content, maybe to write a book or do a podcast or whatever. But at least make changes. Again, it's like those people who say, well, I'm going to travel all over the world to find myself. And really, you don't really find yourself because every destination that you go to is the same version of you. You'd be as well just sit at home and just look at yourself and say, well, you know, what do I need to change in me? A lot of us kind of look outside. We look at the people around us. We look at the government. We look at the world. We look at the environment. And we say, when all those things change, then, you know, then I'll change. Or then my results will get better. When there's a better government in, well, then I'll make more money. You know, when I have a better relationship, well, then, you know, I'll be more loving. But really, it really all happens with us. You are the center of your universe. Everything changes. Everything that, if you want change to happen, it's got to happen in you first. It has to change in you. So as I said, I don't want you to go into 2023, ending into the same as maybe this year. Now, I know we had a lot of nastiness with the COVID pandemics and all those different things. So a lot of bad things did happen to us. And maybe 2023 isn't going to end as badly as maybe the way this year has ended. But really, if changes are going to happen, changes need to be made. So that's my advice today, is go on what Bucky Cooper said in that movie and try and become the person you want to become. Because if you want to make more money, if you want a better relationship, if you want a better job, if you want a better online business, it's going to involve change. It's going to involve getting out of your comfort zone. It's going to involve taking better actions, doing things you've never done before, and doing things that you probably think you can't do right now. I know in my own life, when I look back at some of the things I've done in the past, even recording this podcast episode here, I would never in a million years think that I would have a podcast, record this episode, speak to people all over the world, write as often as I do, create content, create digital products. I would never think I could do that, and yet I've done all that. So I would say to you, even though there is a part of you that does doubt yourself, it does think, well, I can't do all those things, you can do those things. But at least, even if you don't believe in it, at least try. Take a small change. As we head into January, do something small today that's going to be a footstep in the right direction. And every footstep, even though it could be a small footstep, it's going to be walking you in the right direction, which is a lot better than sitting on your butt and hoping for things to change. Because as I said, if things have to change, they have to change with us. And I want you to have a good 2023. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now. And I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realize that they exist. So if you head over to Writecom, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.